Guys, so here's part 2, which is the installation. Now I'm not going to go in as much detail because it's basically just the opposite of what you did to take it off, but you want to find this end of the throttle cable, the one that has that little rubber piece, and you want to feed that end through here behind your tire, stick it above this little plastic wall, feed that through, and then it's going to end up below your floorboard over here. You'll still have that off, but I already put that back, so it'll be running around the bottom of your floorboard. Then you want to put it underneath this little bar piece. I mean, you can put it over, but it'll just keep it a little more secure so it won't be flopping around up here above your engine and your carburetor. Feed it around that bottom, around the left side of your carburetor, and then just in the opposite way that you took it off, if you want to feed this nipple through that little hole over here, tighten these two nuts. And you might have a lot of slack on this end, and if you do, you can just come back around to the opposite end and pull this end of the throttle cable, and that'll tighten it up over here. And then you want to find the little pinhole thing where you put that round piece, slide it in that hole, get your needle nose pliers and pull the tab back to secure that in the hole. And while you're doing this, make sure that there's a little ridge over here. You want to make sure the throttle cable goes under that before you put it in there, because otherwise it won't get pulled properly when you twist the throttle. So coming back to the other end, you want to take this bottom piece of the two half circles that go around your throttle, and you want to stick the throttle cable through and screw that tight onto that plastic piece. Okay, now just a note, because these throttle cables are pretty much one size fits all, you might have to do some fine tuning, because as you can see, you can kind of screw it down as much as you need to, and then you can tighten it up with this bolt. So you might need to do some fine tuning as far as that's concerned. Now, a good way to do that fine tuning is slip your throttle cable into its position over here, roll it so that the cable goes behind these two high walls like so, slip it in to the housing thingy-majig over there, and twist it so that there's no more slack, but not too much. Don't twist it too much so that your throttle isn't opening up back over there. You just want to tighten it up so that you can get the best throttle response when you twist the throttle. After you do that, then you just want to tighten this nut. Make sure it's nice and snug. Do any adjustment you need to do with the plastic piece, and then tighten the nut down onto it. I realize that wasn't the best way to explain it, but it's kind of hard to explain in words. It's just something you're going to have to figure out while you're putting it on, but it's not too difficult. But then you want to pull this whole setup back up here towards the handlebar, slip it on, and then you want to take that top piece along with the screw, put it on top over here, push it all the way in, and then just tighten the top half. Alright, now you want to just slide the handlebar back in there. You might want to take this front plate off to tighten that screw even farther, but if you slide it into place, the plastics around it will kind of keep it in place. But before you go ahead and put all your fairings and your seat and everything back down, you want to just give the throttle a twist, make sure it's pulling, make sure you have the ability to pull the throttle all the way open, and make sure that when you let it go, it snaps back just like that. That'll mean you have everything set up all correctly. Once you check that a couple times, make sure everything's all good, then you've successfully installed your throttle cable. You can put all your fairings back on and you're ready to ride. Thanks, guys.